As you guys already know, I love them full send boys. They're always a blast and the life of the party out there on the water, and today we're going to talk about that, them full send people that live life on the edge. And speaking of full sends, how about full sending it into 2024 with your very own Drain Plug Mafia tumbler? That's right, we're going to give one away today. Really simple. All you have to do, hit the like button now. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, it's the easiest way to show support, and then leave a comment below, and we're going to pick one of those comments and somebody's going to win a tumbler. But let's go ahead and get this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week started. We all know those full send people in our lives, those people who live life right on the edge. Full send all the time. Now, of course, every once in a while, that full send person we know, they'll send her just a little too hard. So we always have to use caution when we're hanging out with that person because we always want to make sure that if they're sending it at the right time. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of situations where you want to full send it. Just when the situation calls for it, you need to lay on that throttle and get the heck out of the way before things get out of hand. And these are the times that you'll be happy you're hanging out with full send dude. Because if you're not hanging out with full send dude, well, you might not quite get there fast enough. Now, lots of people tend to think that that full send person is one of those people who's just out there really trying to show off, maybe try to draw attention to themselves, but that's not really the case. Somebody who truly is living that full send lifestyle, they're full sending it even when nobody's looking and when nobody else is around. So just when they're out there having fun on their own, it's still full send all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, those full send people love having their friends around as well. I mean, what's the point of living that full send lifestyle if you can't share it with your family, friends, and loved ones? Of course, when people are around, that's when the full send guy really shines, though. That's always when they're going to bring their A game because they know somebody's got to hold the camera and catch the action, and when the friends are there, that's easy to get done. But once again, it's not all about always having somebody there. I mean, heck, sometimes maybe the boat just wants to live that full send lifestyle, and there's nobody around. Now, of course, it's not really possible for a boat to go out there and full send it on its own. In order for this to happen, it requires that boat to have a full send guy on it who decided to send her a little too hard while not wearing the safety kill switch lanyard. Now, it's not just people who like to send it. We're out on the water. The fish get out here, and sometimes they like to full send it as well. Now, of course, as we mentioned, hanging out with full send guy does have its risks. You gotta make sure that he's willing to send it at the proper times, because there are times you should not send it. Kind of like right now, if you're living in the East Coast. For example, this is footage from storms that we all got blasted with on the East Coast this past week, and many of us are dealing with torrential flooding. And with torrential flooding, especially on the Intercoastal Waterway and many other waterways, local law enforcement will actually place no-wake zones in areas that aren't typically no-wake zones. So you gotta be careful following a storm to make sure you're not one of those people who's out there trying to send it during a bad time.
Alright, so this is after the storms that just rolled through down here in the southeast, and to give you an idea, this is the upper level of my dock. There is a lower tier, and it is completely underwater. This is my jet ski lifts that are underwater right now. They are normally 6 to 7 foot above the water line. Same deal, boat lift underwater, usually about 6 to 7 foot above the water line. And if I walk down to the bottom level of my docks right now, I'd probably be chest deep in water. This is wildness. And this happened in about 3 hours. I'd say it's 3 o'clock now, about noon, the water level was normal. And in 3 hours, it's gotten to this. And the worst part of this is high tide's already passed. So the tide is going out, but the water level is still rising. It's gonna be an interesting day.
So in our local area right now, of course, there is a no-wake zone in effect because the area is suffering from flooding. But what happens? Well, we still get these massive yachts that come rolling through here, tossing a massive wake and causing damage to property. So if you're gonna send it, always make sure it's the right time to send it. Now, there are bad situations or emergency situations that will require the full send, kind of like this one here, where the boat's on fire and this crew's doing everything they can to try and get it out of the marina before it causes any damage to any other boats or docks around the area. Here, if you've got the opportunity, go ahead and hook this thing up and full send it straight on out of there. Just like we're gonna go ahead and full send this video out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like BHammer69, Brown Cardigan, Diego Raw, Adam Coolidge, Joe Johnson, Seashells, Tariq Romaine, Ms. Kaminsky, and William Black did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.